Breaking down some film on this Tuesday. And I got a new pad we're going to test out. Got a cool little pen. And also, I got to wear this glove when I use it. I look ridiculous, but I do these things so we can draw. So let's draw. What is up, Finn fans? Ignore the glove. It's a little ridiculous. I get it, but I got this new doohickey of a pad where I can draw and do a little bit more, better illustration. Also, I'm going to use it for my thumbnails, use it for the art that I do and all that stuff. It was only $50, and it actually is pretty nice. I don't know what the name of it is called. XP Pen. If you're interested in getting it, it's pretty cool. It's got buttons on the side. I don't know what I'm doing. This is the first video I'm using this, so it's going to be interesting. So we got a lot to talk about. I'm going to talk about Chase Claypool. I'm going to talk about Jalen Ramsey. We're going to talk about that interception. We're going to go into full detail on that. But a lot of things that I noticed while watching this, Chase Claypool is a big physical wide receiver. Definitely, it might be used as a tight end / wide receiver. That's probably why they went out and got him. Then you have another thing I noticed on 3rd and longs. If you ever notice, like, why aren't they really going past the down marker? Why are they kind of running a screen? Or why do they have an in route that's like, if it's like 3rd and 12, why do they have a 10-yard in route instead of a 13-yard in route? And a lot of these things. And it's because, from what I've noticed, that whether it's Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, whoever, if they can't use their mobility to get that extra first down, they're going to go for it on 4th down on the opponent's side of the field. Like, I've seen it through this whole game. I think they were 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions. Jalen Ramsey is instinctual. Like, I was watching the whole game, and he is just where the ball is, like, especially the forced fumble, which I was going to break that one down, but it's nothing crazy. He just, puts his shoulder, makes a clean tackle, but, Zeke doesn't have the ball high. It's kind of low, so when he hits it with his shoulder, it pops it out. But on the interception, rolls out, and like I said, I'll show you. And throughout the whole game, I'm just watching him, know where to be, know where the ball's going to be, reading the defense, the offense. Beautiful. And then I noticed Jalen Phillips takes on a lot of double blocks, which is interesting to me, which means that the opposing offenses are kind of wary of Jalen Phillips and his speed. So I think that's pretty cool and pretty interesting. But without further ado, let's mess around with this new pad and jump into this mamma jam. I think I normally put myself over here. You ready for this? So you got the pen. So I need to use the mouse for something. So like I'll click on the pencil and then the pen. And then you see I'm not drawing, but I'm moving my hand. It like senses it. If I draw hard, it's thick. But if I do like a dash, you see how cool that is? Like, it's like I'm using a pencil. See how like a little dash is? But then if I draw thick and hard, but a little dash, I want to. It's pretty cool. Just wanted to show you how the pen works. So this first play is supposed to be a pass to Chase Claypool. He's going to be running an in route. Let's draw it. He's going to be running an in route up here. Going to be running a nice little in route. And this mamma jam right here, again, we're getting used to the pen. Pass interference. Not called. And I think we end up punting the ball on this one? Watch. Top of the screen. Chase Claypool. Going to be running an in route. About 20 so yards. In route. Boom. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what I like to call pass interference. And I thought it was weird. Like, I kind of was like, when I watched it live, I was like, where's Tua trying to get this to? Right here. That's pass interference, brother. So they didn't call it. And again, it was, I think the Patriots had 7 penalties. The Dolphins had 3. And some Patriot fans thought that we got favoritism. I'll just leave it at that. This next play is just Vic Fangio being Vic Fangio, and just how the defense is just messing with opposing quarterbacks. So you could see here, right, you have AVG right here, and he looks like he's going to blitz. You have Baker standing up here. You're going to have, let me get it to where they're all set. There you go. They're all kind of set. So again, you have AVG right here. He looks like he's blitzing. You have Christian Wilkins. He's the down technique. You have Skyler. He's got his hand up. You have Phillips over here. He looks like he's going to come blitz. And you have Bradley Chubb over here. He looks like he's going to come blitz. So at this point, you're looking at it, right? And you think as the quarterback, as Mac Jones, they're sending 5 at me. I got to be wary of Bradley Chubb on my left. I got to be wary of Jalen Phillips, and they're blitzing AVG, who is now playing middle linebacker instead of on the outside. So in this formation, we have our 3 best pass rushers on the field. And then you still have Sealer in there. We got our 3 fastest pass rushers on the field right now. But you'll see what happens when the ball's actually snapped. Now, don't get me wrong, Bradley Chubb, you have to do a better job at that. But again, he puts his hand down last second, and they completely change it up. So now pre-snap, Mac Jones is thinking that Bradley Chubb is going to come blitz, but he's actually dropping back into coverage. Jerome Baker, who is up here, is now coming to blitz, which then again, 69 has to account for him and try to block him. And then you look over here, and Jalen Phillips is dropping back. So they're only sending 1, 2, 3, 4. But when you first looked at it, it looked like they were blitzing. So in that situation, 77 is prepared to block Phillips. Now all of a sudden here comes AVG. 69 wants to help AVG, but then here comes... It's confusing even just explaining it, but that's Vic Fangio. The Miami Dolphins, I think right now, are either they're top 5 in sacks. Top 5, top 10 in pressure, top 5, top 10 in quarterback hits. And again, a lot of people wanted to fire Fangio at some point and move on from him because of, the defense had some down games. And I kept telling people it's going to take time. Well, that time seems to be now, and the defense seems to be getting it. Now, this is a dot. An absolute dot from Tua to Durham Smythe here. And he has to put that ball exactly where it needs to be, or it's going to be intercepted. Just beautiful, because you're gonna have, so you have Durham Smythe right about, where is he? I need my pencil. You got Durham right here, so he's kind of running like a little bit of an in route here. You're gonna have these linebackers kind of go in for the play action, but then also drop back when they notice that. Same thing with him. He's gonna drop back into coverage, and then Durham Smythe is going to sit here, and he's going to have a cloud of defenders in front of him. He's even going to come down and try to, defend Durham Smythe here. He's going to have those defenders here, and Tua's got to drop it above the defenders into Durham Smythe's hands. Can you tell that I'm enjoying using this pen? I'm drawing way more than I ever have, and that's because I have it. Right there. So they're completely covering, I think... That might be Ingold. It looks like it's Tyreek, but they're like, oh, we're concentrating on this man. And that's the attention seeker, and you have Durham back here. So 30 is going to jump down to try to cover Durham. And Tua now has to drop the ball, like I said, over these defenders to Durham Smythe. Tua has the accuracy. to drop that in. And if you look at it from the other angle, that was Tyreek. So they're like, we can't let Tyreek get any yardage. 18 almost got that. Durham did his thing. Beautiful throw. Absolutely beautiful throw. Unfortunately, I do have to show the interception, which is on the same drive. This interception is just the defense doing defensive things. You look here, and you think to yourself as an opposing quarterback, they got 3 safeties, 1, 2, 3, playing high. You got the whole middle of the field open, which Tua does like to throw. There's no doubt about it. They look like they're sending some blitz here, blitz here. You got man coverage, press. You got off coverage here. It looks like it's man-to-man with 3 high safeties. That's what it looks like. Because this is, what down is it? It's third down. 3rd and long. So that's their plan. We're going to send pressure at Tua. We're going to play man across the board, and we're going to give you 3 high safeties at the first down marker. I still can't even draw a straight line. I'm using a pen. And Tua just gets baited by one of the safeties. Drops back. What I think happens is right here. I think Tua thinks, because the offensive line does a really good job of defending what's going on over here, but I think he thinks that this guy is going to take on him. So when Tyreek kind of comes into his curl route here, this guy's gonna follow back and follow him, who I think is Claypool. It looks like an 83. It might be Durham Smythe. So I think that's what he's thinking. I think he's gonna have this whole area over here open. Gotta admit, that's a nice curl route drawing. The more I use it, the better I'm getting. But he doesn't. Peels off. And he throws it right to him. I don't think that was a curl route in actuality. I think that was just a post route. But he probably thought he was going to follow him, so he had the post route, and it's a bad throw. A bad throw. So on defense now, this is the touchdown pass we gave up. And it's a crossing route from 84 here, who I think is Bourne. He's just going to run a simple crossing route. Dolphins are blitzing. They're sending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are sending pressure. And then it seems like this safety is heading that way. So they leave the whole center of the field open, and it's up to Cater to follow him and make sure, one-on-one he doesn't get it. And I think Cater goes like in the wrong direction. Let's play it and see what happens here. Well, motion. No, my apologies. It's 20. It's not Cater. It's 20. He runs the slant, and 20 is the one that messes it up. Should have waited to show you guys. I apologize. Nope, it is 84 that runs the slant. Just bad coverage. Because what Brandon Jones does is he comes down. So he's already trailing, and he's now reaching for him. And Max sees it. He's all looking like a giraffe trying to get some food with his legs. He's falling over here. You have Brandon Jones, who came down from his high safety position, and you have this whole area to throw it. Because this formation here from Deshaun Elliott, you're not going to be able to get back to that to make a tackle. You look like a table at this point, and he's reaching and stumbling. It's blown coverage, plain and simple. Blown coverage. Tried to press him, got the inside route, tried to reach for him, couldn't get to him. Then you have Deshaun Elliott running one way, realizing I got to go back the other way. He looks like, have you ever watched a giraffe try to eat something low? They do that with their legs. They kind of cock them out. It's just bad play on defense. But again, we only gave them 17 points and we scored 31. So as a defense, when you have an offense that the Dolphins have, if you can hold the opponent to less than 20 points, you have a good chance of winning. Because your offense is just doing really great things. So what happens next, right? We give up a touchdown. We're down 7-0. Tua throws a dumb interception. And again, some people don't like that I say it was a dumb interception. It's a good bait by the safety, but also that safety was there. It was a bad interception. But what does Tua always do after interceptions? He makes up for it. And he makes up for it here. Because it's very simple. It's very simple. You have Tyreek here who's going to run a go route. And you have a safety here and you have a corner here who's going to try to keep up with Tyreek Hill. And you'll see at some point, Tyreek's here. This guy is here. So they're like neck and neck. And this guy is obviously here. This is when Tua throws it. When the three of them are literally lined up like this. Because he knows that Tyreek is going to be able to pull off. And he's just going to give it to him. No motion, play action. Buckets. Absolute buckets. And like I said, I'll show you exactly when Tua throws it. Now, it wasn't... Maybe I can go back a sketch. Because maybe he threw it. Ready? Right there. See him? If you look at Tua, he's getting ready. And like I said, they're kind of lined up. Because it's a foot race. This guy had a head start. This guy is neck and neck with him. In this situation, Tyreek is going to blow by you guys. Plain and simple. And Tua knows that. I have the fastest wide receiver in the NFL. If he is lined up with these guys, I just got to throw it. What? They're at the 29-ish. I just got to give it like a good 10, 15 yards. Just dot. Beautiful throw. Tua has that comfortable with Tyreek now. Year one, he still didn't understand his speed, how fast he really was. They did practice, but he still needed to work on that stuff. So again, a lot of times it was underthrown or, all this stuff because he didn't realize, oh, I need to throw at this point. Now 2 years with him, Tua knows exactly when to throw that ball. This is a 4th down run by Tua. Now, he got in trouble. I think this is the one he got yelled at for. But it's a great decision by Tua because Kendall Lamb up here got beat. And everyone's covered. And he senses it. He's like, I don't got time. And obviously no team in the NFL is going to sit here and put a spy up for Tua Tagovailoa. So he's like, screw it. It's 4th down. That was a 4th down play. That's the mental of Tua to be like, everyone's covered. I'm not giving them the ball back on their own 48-yard line. There's no one in front of me. I'm going to take off running. And I'm showing this play because Tua can use this to his advantage because nobody is going to spy Tua. You think right here, right, this linebacker might spy Tua? No, he's waiting for Raheem Mostert so he can follow his route. Everyone else, he's dropping back into coverage. You got man on man, man on man, man on man, man on man. So you got this whole center of the field wide open until it takes it. I would like to see, now obviously we're worried about Tua taking a bad hit because of the 2 concussions last year, but I'd love to see a play on the goal line, like a Peyton Manning. Remember with the Denver Broncos? He handed the ball off, but he kept it himself, and even the camera stayed with the running back, and he just slowly trotted in for a touchdown, and everyone was like, oh my God, he kept it. It's like his first rushing touchdown ever, blah, blah, blah. I like to see them do that with Tua. Just hand it off and then him take it the other way around. This play, I don't know if this play is Tyreek being Tyreek or if it was the play call. Because on this one, you're going to have two routes. And again, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think you're going to have two routes here. One of them being Tyreek's running a an in route. I think Durham's also running an in route here. So he has Tua has two options here. He can either throw it to Durham Smythe or he can throw it to Tyreek. But, again, I don't know if this is a Tyreek Hill thing or what. You have the one in route, and then Tyreek runs the in route, and then he stops right here. He comes back, and it forces the corner to keep going, which gives Tyreek this little cushion for Tua to throw the ball to him. Now, is that Tyreek using his knowledge of being one of the best wide receivers in the NFL to find that cushion and kind of stop and let Tua get him the ball? Or is that the play call? You tell me as we look at it. Yeah, so you have the two in routes. See how he stops? Now, I'm wondering if that was the play, or was he supposed to keep going? Because he keeps going, 23 is shadowing him, but not looking at him, so Tyreek stops. I think that was the play, because he's kind of waiting for the ball. So I think that's the play, and if that's the play, that's Mike McDaniel using his noggin to call a great combination of routes, because that corner thinks that Tyreek is going to keep running, and he doesn't keep running. So he gets all frazzled. I loved it. Now, the play we've been waiting for. The interception from Jalen Ramsey. Love this play. We've been waiting for this for how long? You got somewhat of a post route here. And then I think Bourne has the in route. And what Jalen Ramsey's going to do is he's going to follow the post, and then he's going to give it to the safety. He's going to kind of just give Parker to the safety, and then he's going to roll back and he's going to bite on the out route and just pick it off. Because Mac Jones thinks that he's going to follow the post route. But he don't. He don't. He used those hips. And he don't use them. Drops back. You see him dropping back. Follows it. Then right here, he gives. This is where he notices, because he's keeping his eye on the quarterback. He gives the post route to Brandon Jones, and he sees this, and he uses his speed to get back here and intercept the ball. So to me, that knee looks just fine. Look how smooth it is. Goes up. I'm going to give it to you. Come back. Boom. I gotta watch it again. I'm sorry. It's just so smooth of a transition. You don't think as a quarterback he's going to be able to come back like that. Plants his feet, comes back after having a meniscus repair. We get X back this week against the Chiefs, and Ramsey keeps playing like that. It's going to be good. So this play is the one where it's probably the thumbnail, where Jalen Waddle just launches himself to catch the ball. And he got mad after he caught the ball. And I was very excited, and I couldn't wait to watch this play because I wanted to know why Jalen Waddle got mad. And this is another penalty that wasn't called. So I'm just going to play it, and then we'll break it down after I play it. Jalen Waddle's at the top of the screen. Right there. The fact that he caught it, love it. The fact that he caught it with his hands, he had a few drops in this game that disappointed me, but I love it. You're not allowed to touch the receivers after 5 yards. So we have the ball on their 33. So you could touch him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the 29-yard line. After the 29-yard line, the corners aren't allowed to jam or reposition or anything like that. You got a 5-yard cushion you're allowed to touch. After that, it's illegal contact. You know, it's a penalty. Right there. He pushes him. Right here. You're allowed to touch him at this point. So this should be illegal contact because he pushes him and throws him off. Now, Tua is expecting him to, come up and run his post route. So he's going to try to throw it to him so he's allowed to get some yak. Because if you look here, you have the one safety and you have the safety playing the far hash. You have all this room in between. If he doesn't get pushed here, he could probably catch that and take it up and score a touchdown. But he gets pushed. Illegal contact. Penalty. And essentially making him stumble, taking him off his tracks, and he has to dive to catch the ball. Look at all that real estate. Look at all, I don't know if you can see my little point there. All of this real estate right here. Right here. All this real estate he could have possibly scored. He got mad, I remember. And then I think before the commercial break or something, he was talking to the ref. Because there's a few times where their receivers were getting away with being incredibly physical with the Dolphin receivers. And like I said, within the 5 yards, you can do that. After the 5 yards, it's illegal contact, it's holding, some of it could be PI. Got away with a lot. So again, we had 3 penalties, they had 7, and some thought, the refs kind of made it up for the Dolphins. Not necessarily. Dolphins just overcame that and continued to score. What's the fumble? Okay. So this is the fumble to Raheem Mostert, and some people didn't understand. Tua got blamed for the fumble, so he, on his record, his permanent record, he has the fumble in this one. But I was like, I need to see what happened, because when they showed the replay, I was like, it really looked like Mostert grabbed the ball and then let it go for some reason. Because Tua stuck his hand out, and it wasn't an RPO where Tua had his hands on the ball, put the ball in his chest, and was ready to pull it out and throw it. He had his hand out. He was going to give Mostert the ball. And if you watch here, see, he has his hand out. Here you go. Take the ball. And if you look, you can see that Mostert has his hands on the ball. Let's see if I can illustrate it. He's got one hand here, and he's got one hand here. He's got his hands on the ball. Tua has his hand fully extended. Mostert has his hands on the ball. So Tua felt his hands on the ball, so he let go of it. It was fumble. A lot of people didn't know who should be at blame for that fumble. And I'm just showing it not to be like, Mostert, you suck, blah, 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 or, avenging Tua. Just clarity. Because even I was like, did he have his hands on the ball? But you can clearly see right there, he was ready for it, and for some reason he kind of let go of it. But it wasn't an RPO where Tua was ready to keep the ball because Tua had his arm fully extended. So this is the play where Jalen Waddle runs a beautiful route. And the play before this, he dropped in a very beautiful catch. It was a back shoulder catch that he just bodied it and dropped it. And he makes up for it here because this is a 3rd down play. And it's such a good route. I love this route. I'm going to attempt to draw it. But he goes, it's an up, in, and then out. With this type of route, you need time, right? Because it's fun and dandy. Like, we love seeing the deep passes. We love seeing these routes get open and Tua hitting wide open guys. And you need time for these routes to develop. And you'll see what I mean because of the route and how much time he needs. Because Tua gets a clean pocket. Right? He goes out and then in. And he fakes the crap out of the corner. Because the corner thinks he's running a post. He's not running a post. So he is expecting, oh crap, he's going this way. Oh, he's not. I have to kind of give him my back and turn him around. But look at the time Tua gets. And what does Tua do? He gives himself time. I gave you guys a stat in the deeper dive talking about the Miami Dolphins have had 10 different offensive linemen playing for the past 8 weeks. But Tua's only hit 24 times. And that is because of Butch Berry, and that is also because of Tua. Because Tua needs time. At this point, he's got pressure on him. But Waddle is still halfway through his route, running the in and then going to the out. Tua needs time, and what does he do here? He sees the lane, he gives himself time, steps up in the pocket, and hits Jalen Waddle for the pass. Beautiful. Completely different quarterback. I love the way Tua's playing. I got 2 more plays for you. This one's to Chase Claypool, and it's nothing fancy. It's an in route. I'm not even going to draw it. It's an in route here. And the reason I'm showing it to you is it kind of got me excited for Chase Claypool to get more incorporated into this offense, because him and Julian Hill are doing very well blocking. That's why at the beginning of the video I kind of said Claypool's kind of a tight end-esque wide receiver, and that's probably why the Dolphins went out and traded for him for a bucket of peanuts. But this play here shows me why I'm excited for him, and it's because he's different, right? Braxton Berrios is small, Tyreek Hill is small, and Jalen Waddle is on the smaller side. Now, they're fast and they're physical, but Chase Claypool is fast, tall, and physical, and you see it in this play. Like I said, easy in route, catches it, right? Now, you see the 3 defenders around him. Now, again, I'm not knocking Braxton. I'm not knocking Waddle. I'm not knocking Tyreek. But it'll be a rarity for them to break a tackle. He just pushes through and fights, and that's what I'm excited for. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see him continue to use that physicality. And again, if he does convert to a tight end in this system, he's going to be incredibly dangerous. This is the last play. It's the butt naked, wide open, my brain shutting off, touchdown to Jalen Waddle. So you got Jalen Waddle up here. He's just going to run a pretty easy post route. You have Tyreek Hill here. He's going to go into motion, and then he's going to run a go route. And what happens here is, I think it's this corner here. He follows Tyreek over, because I think they're playing man coverage, and him and this corner right here take Tyreek's route. One of these 2 guys was supposed to communicate and say, you got 10, I got 17 in a roundabout way. So I would think it would be him. He would take on Tyreek, and then he would come over and follow Waddle on the inside. Nope. That's not what happens. He motions over, and then the both of them follow Tyreek and just butt naked. I hope it's him. I don't want to be wrong again. I'm wrong again. It's 13. You know what? It's the same thing. It's just a different person. Butt naked. And if you see here, white sleeves, McGillicuddy, it's 13. Like I said. Watch him put his hands up. Like, what'd I do? That's because, my man, 13, you're supposed to come over, and at this point, 13, you're supposed to now take on Jalen Waddle, while 31 goes up and takes on Tyreek Hill, and give the defense enough time to get in there, because they sent a pretty big blitz. We only got 3 linebackers sitting back in case, he goes out or something. But he doesn't. And he messes up, and the most wide open touchdown ever, he just trots in. Absolute thing of beauty. But that's what I got for you guys in the film breakdown. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think of the pen? What do you think of my stupid glove? What do you think of the drawing pad? Is it better than it used to be? Or are you like, Doug, it doesn't matter? It's all the same. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to do power rankings tomorrow. And then on Thursday, before the game, Thursday night game, will be the picks. I think that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the year. Power rankings come out Wednesday. Thursday is the picks. And I will do power rankings for the rest of the year. And if you're like, nah, I don't care, then I'll stop. But a lot of you guys wanted me to, so I'm going to. But other than that, I'll see you tomorrow. Like usual, stay classy. Headphones up.